Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic, host of Bachelor in Paradise, a guy's review. Last night was episode 7, season 7, week 4 of Bachelor in Paradise. As we know, Monday night we had an issue with Brendan and Piper. The great unfollowing, Monday's massacre, the purge continues. Natasha, over 300,000 followers on Instagram, and Brendan down to, 7. He's got his family now. They're all leaving him. And we got a lot of other things to cover. Because of that great unfollowing, last night, Tuesday night, we had Alana over here ruffling feathers with Chris Conran, and then he was the next victim, I should say, in the bully brigade. I use that term lightly. Was it actually bullying or wasn't it? We'll get to the bottom of it. Get your finger onto the bottom of that like button, hit it an odd number of times, and don't forget to subscribe for all the future content. So much coming your way, fun interviews and tons of content for you. So we'll cover this title here, Bachelor in Paradise. Chris Conran denies pre-show romance with Alana after dumping Jasenia Cruz. Okay, does anybody care? Why are we talking about this? I guess you guys do care. So we'll discuss all of this, and at the end of the video, I'll read some of your comments about what you guys think about whether or not Chris and Alana were bullied in last night's episode of Bachelor in Paradise. Hump Day, let's get into it. Oh, by the way, I've got some stand-up shows happening tonight. If you catch this, I'll be in Hollywood, California. 7:30 p.m. show tonight. Brooklyn, I'll be there. Yo, Brooklyn in the house. Friday and Sunday, 10 p.m. show Friday, 8 p.m. show at Eastville Comedy Club on Sunday, and a free show at East Village in Manhattan, 5:30 p.m. Sunday if you want to watch some football and then come have some laughs. Go ahead and do that. All right, let's get into this conversation. Now, what happened last night was Alana shows up. She shows up. She's like, look, I know you're dating Jasenia, but I'm trying to date you too. And all the producers told her, yeah, get in there and just give them the eyes and kiss each other and make out on a zip line and do what you got to do. Then that happens. Everyone ends up hating her. And this is her first time ever probably being exposed to the internet's wrath. Not a good thing. Here's what she says. If you're one of the many continuing to direct send me hate, please stop. I didn't have a plan or a pre-existing relationship with Chris going into Paradise. I really was just excited to experience it like everyone else there. The messages I continue to receive are quite hurtful. I urge you to realize you are sending these hateful messages to a real human being. You saw a short edited version of me on a TV show. That's not me blaming an edit, but none of you know the real me, so please try to be kind. It's a lot, and it's not anything I realized I signed up for. I came on the show with pure intentions, and the rest was out of my control. Be good to one another, and please leave me alone. Yeah, she probably got paid $500. You know, she was only there for one day. She was in, she was out. And then Chris had to decide if he was going to stick around. Everyone kind of came around to defend Jasenia. Then Jasenia's like, yeah, F you. You know, they did the whole thing. There was group mentality, mob mentality, but was it bullying? So let's get into just the proper definition of bullying. This is from the National Center Against Bullying. Although, what country is this? The way they spell center makes me think that it's like Canadian or something. Either way, we'll go with the definition. Bullying is an ongoing and deliberate misuse of power in relationships through repeated verbal, physical, and or social behavior that intends to cause physical, social, and or psychological harm. So what we say at the bottom is bullying is not single episodes of social rejection or dislike. So if someone does something wrong and everyone's like, shame on you, man, it's not like, quit bullying me. It's like, no. Shame on you, man. So the question is, was the juice worth the squeeze here? I'm going to go ahead and say they weren't bullying Chris Conran, but there was definitely mob mentality happening. So we have to remember that. Bullying is a repeated use, and it's important to know the different terms here, because if someone's an a-hole to you, if someone... I'm dying. I'm okay. I'm alive. It's the vaccine. Get your jabs. If I'm stuck in traffic and someone cuts me off and I come home and I go, hey, Tasha, this guy bullied me in the 101. She's going to go, what are you talking about? Shut up. He didn't bully you. He was just an a-hole. You got to know the difference between a bully and an a-hole. And in this case, you have to know the difference between being bullied and being held accountable. Now, what Alana is talking about, what Alana is talking about is not the bullying that happened on the show. She's talking about the nature of the internet being horrible humans. And I really want a show called Troll Patrol, where when people like leave egregious comments, like way over the line comments, we show up to their door, we knock on their door in Duluth, Minnesota, or whatever state you're in, Fargo, and we just read the receipts like it's Chris Hansen from To Catch a Predator, and we make people feel stupid. And we show it to their loved ones and go, did you know that while Samantha was on the clock here at her job at Best Western, she was actually commenting on Nick Vial's YouTube channel? Did you know that? And they bring the boss in, and the boss is like, who's Nick Vial, and why are you commenting on his YouTube channel that you think he's a creep? You know what I mean? Come on, people. Anyway, I digress. But you understand, we're out of control out here. It's the anonymity of the internet. It brings out the worst in people. That's why bikers are a-holes. Bicyclists are a-holes and joggers are not, because a jogger is going slower than a car in traffic, so they have to be like courteous because they're sharing the road. Whereas a biker can sort of like, even though they're not supposed to go through a red light, they always do. So you will see time and again, bicyclists will be like, hey, share the road, a-hole, and then they kind of pedal off, and it's like, sorry, I'm in a Toyota and I have to stop at a stop sign and you don't. Was that a tangent? Yes. Was it pretty accurate? You tell me. All right. So a couple accounts here that we're going to go through, some of our favorite Instagram accounts. Bachelor Nation Spoilers posted this. I'll play the slides and I'll read their comments about what went down with Alana and Chris Conran. Topic of this post is going to be how Chris and Alana were treated on last night's episode of Bachelor in Paradise. Attached are some DMs I received as well. I am not going to stop talking about this today. Was it wrong of Chris to kiss Alana in front of Jasenia? Sure. It's hurtful. It's not fair. But you're on Bachelor in Paradise. You walk in there expecting the best, but preparing for the worst possible outcome. That sounds like when I went to prom. I'm expecting the best, but I'm preparing for the worst, okay? Didn't Tammy kiss Thomas in front of Aaron? In fact, she was straddling Thomas in front of Aaron. The old Thomas the Tank Engine, she's just riding the old Thomas train. All right, first class, pull the string, ding ding, time to get off. Didn't Kenny make out with Demi in front of Mari? Truth be told. And to top it off, what about Piper and Brendan? Seeing each other days before Bachelor in Paradise and planning to be together after wasting Natasha's time and breaking her heart, but you're going to bully Chris and Alana out of the island because they just eat it and don't want confrontation? There's a lot of things that were not talked about, and there's a lot of hypocrisy from this show. I truly feel sorry for Chris and Alana, both for how they were shoved out of there by multiple people, and everyone that was involved should be completely ashamed of themselves. Treat others how you would want to be treated. You go on the show knowing people could be kissing multiple people. It happens every year. I just cannot believe how this was handled. Hopefully everyone can move on from this and forgive each other. Chris and Alana are so freaking amazing, and they don't deserve any of this hate coming towards them. And anyone that has anything negative to say, please keep it to yourself because this just is not right. That's it. That's all I have to say for now. All right, lot to take in there. Thank you so much for enjoying my reimagining of these comments. But what we got here, it's a busy one when I moved from hot coffee to iced coffee. We're cooking, baby. So Alana was considering staying. Chris is like, I think we got to go. And Alana's like, and I get it. It's like, imagine going on vacation and your partner's like, I got in a fight with the concierge. We need to go back home. And you're like, come on, no. I packed all my bikinis. I waxed my hoo-ha. What are we doing out here? Come on, I'm ready to go. I'm doing my thing. You know what I mean? Oh, boy, the dilemma. And Alana ended up leaving. I think they should have stayed. I think they should have been, you know what? You can't vote me out. She's going to give me her rose. I'm going to give her my rose, and we're going to stay to the end. I would have hate stayed. You ever hate stay on vacation? All right. It's like high school. The popular kids usually didn't get bullied, but the quiet or unpopular kids got bullied. So Chris could be considered quiet, unpopular, and Brendan is more popular among the group, so no big confrontations yet. That's a decent point, except I'm gonna still push back on the term bullying here. He wasn't bullied. They maybe ganged up on him. I'm not calling that bullying. I'm not. Now, to say that Chris wasn't popular, I mean, look, yeah, he came on the show a little bit after Riley, a little bit after Brendan. So some of these guys, Joe, they have a mutual respect for each other. They're like the OGs of Bachelor in Paradise. They have that clique. So that doesn't make it right, but you can understand how that happens. Totally agree with you. It was flipped up what Chris did, but he did not deserve that treatment. Joe was disappointing for leading the whole crusade, and they're all hypocrites for not treating Brendan and Piper the same. Yeah, it is kind of funny how Joe just became like grandfather of the beach. She's like, I shall banish you from the sands. It's like, okay, easy goes. Easy. You were about ready to quit on the first day. You know what I mean? But what can you do? But Joe calling him out, bringing him to the table for everyone to talk, I think is good. I just think I think Chris should have said, you know what? Everyone's heated. I'm going to take go have a sip of water. Let's come back. Would you guys be okay hearing my side? And if they go, no, we don't want to hear your side, then you go, you know what? Then I guess we're not open to fair negotiating here. And that's how you have to have a good conversation. You have to be able to say your piece and then hear the other person. So Chris says they never dated beforehand. Tammy, a neutral party, says they never dated beforehand. I don't know where Tammy was in all of this, but you have neutral parties saying they didn't date, and everyone goes, how could Tammy know? Well, they were all part of the same weekend getaway. So, and if no one saw him flicking the bean, then let's just assume that they didn't. Let's assume the best here. Now, if the question is, if you already know each other, you shouldn't go on the show, that takes away 90% of Bachelor, alumni there, right? They all know each other. Let's also not ignore the fact that the men did not jump to Natasha's defense the way they did for Jasenia. Dark-skinned black women are more vulnerable than any other people of color to discrimination, including the belief that they're tougher and can handle more. Joe, who works with Natasha, did not feel that she needed him to defend her when she was clearly hurt, but yet he jumped to Jasenia's defense. That's flipped up. Well, I made a video yesterday on colorism. Absolutely. With regards to what actually went down, just because we didn't see that happen doesn't mean it didn't happen. I don't know if Joe, comforted Natasha. I do understand the point that just because Natasha has thick skin and can handle herself doesn't mean she should be walked over. So I'm glad that obviously Natasha's got the comeuppance, is that a word? From Bachelor Nation. And didn't Jasenia and Chris know each other before the show? They kind of did something similar with Ivan. I think Chris was an easy target for everyone. Of course, but look, yeah, Ivan knew Jasenia, right? They knew each other before the show. I'm sorry. Jasenia knew Chris before the show is what they're saying. So she can't use the logic at, hey, you already knew each other, because she knew Chris. So that logic's out the window. As much as I think people want to talk about the rest of the episode, I was so extremely uncomfortable watching them bully these two, even more so talking amongst Brendan and Piper. I can't even remember what happened because my heart was hurting so badly for Chris and Alana. Oh, thoughts and prayers for Chris and Alana. Now listen, I too feel you. I too feel you that it was unfair for Chris and Alana, but we're not going to call that bullying. Their tempers were heated for sure, not bullying. Leave a comment. Let me know. I mean, because sometimes, you find out the real definition of gaslighting, and then everyone goes, no, that's not right. And you go, I've got 3 psychologists telling me what gaslighting is, and I got Nancy over here who has a part-time job at Enterprise Car Rental telling me I'm wrong. And shout out to our friend in the Bronx who's an English teacher who tried to correct me when I said gaslighted, and she goes, it's gaslit. And I was like, gaslit's an adjective. Past tense is gaslighted. That's right. I grew up in Portsmouth, Rhode Island, and had public school education. Okay. Moving along, folks. Just kidding to my friend in the Bronx. Come to a stand-up show. We'll have a drink. So had to be said. First, Brendan and Piper. Now, Chris and Alana. If you met before Paradise and are interested in each other, don't come to Paradise. Or at least, bump some Harrys with someone else first. Marissa worried Riley is making other connections versus what Riley is actually doing. Of course, has nothing to do with the conversation, but very funny. Marissa's there crying oh, Riley's probably cheating on me. Meanwhile, Riley's doing the worm. Justice for Riley. How great is he? I hope their relationship works out. If it doesn't, how about Riley? Bachelor 2029 or whatever we get to him. When he asked you to leave before you hit 70,000 followers. Hey, that's funny. I get it. Funny joke. Brandon, Piper, Chris, and Alana going on a double date. I don't know. Come on. We're going to call them trash. Come on. I reject that. I reject it. Blake Horstman, now that he's no longer the worst person in Bachelor in Paradise history. There it is, folks. Any other live look at the VIP party? Yep. The VIP party looks like my 8th grade semi-formal. This is how you slow dance. You got to leave room for the Holy Spirit right there. And boners. Leave room for Holy Spirits and boners. Because God knows one of those is going to get in between you two, okay? All right, we're digressing. Anyway, Brendan and Piper also kind of came off a little bit more aggressive with their kind of, as they played the heel. In wrestling term, the heel is the bad guy. The bad guy's like, oh, you don't like this? Oh, yeah. They become the bad guy. But that's also a defensive position to take. Sometimes when you're in a defensive position, rather than feel humility, you go, you know what? You start pushing people away. So maybe that's what they did. Who really knows? Now, this is Tammy retweeting or reposting Titus Burgess, who was the new guest host. Titus, super funny, and I want to show this right now. So here's Titus.
Other than the fact that he was in the midst. This girl was stressing 5 minutes ago, and now she's happy. Tammy was happy 5 minutes ago, and now she's stressing. All over this guy?
Drama in Katie season.
I get it.
Ah! He goes, she was stressing 5 minutes ago. Now she's stressing all over this guy? All right, I get it. Oh, we gotta love it. Funny. Oh, yeah. All right, there's Michelle. All right, so here's your comments. We'll get out of here. I feel so bad for Chris. What the heck even was that? Did they all just bully Chris? They ganged up on him so hard. Riley was literally screaming at him towards the end. It felt so bad. By the way, they're on a beach, so like it's windy. It's kind of loud. I mean, even if they talk loudly from 8 feet away, I wouldn't call it screaming at each other. I even thought he was in a committed relationship with Jasenia. Everyone thought that, and she suddenly comes out with another guy she's into because a spark is not something that can be made or whatever. Chris found more chemistry with someone else too, so why are they all upset? Yeah, there is a lot of karmatic justice that happened there. Brendan did the same thing, but worse because he was in a committed relationship with Piper. She called him her boyfriend. Chris didn't come in a relationship with Alana. Are they all doing this? Are they all doing this because they're friends with Brendan, but they don't care about Chris because that's BS? Brendan and Piper's comments on Chris, they really are ones to talk. LOL, they should have sent Brendan and Piper home too. The double standards. But isn't it funny though how we treat this as if like we're it's like when your parents are nicer to your sibling. And you're like, oh come on, she gets the remote control. She was an a-hole. I ate all my dinner. I cleared my plate. Come on. Sound like Seinfeld. What's the deal with siblings? They're always treated better. It's like, did you not want me to get straight A's? All right. Edit. I totally forgot, but some comments pointed out Marissa did it to Connor too. And Tammy made out with Thomas right in front of Aaron. Neither talked to their current partners first. Neither got any flack for it. Yeah, but what happened was, I think the difference is that they were at an event and Jasenia walked in on them. Look, it wasn't a good look. We're not here trying to justify how it went down. It just wasn't a good look. He should have literally been like, I have to tell Jasenia, I'm going to be seeing other people. At least the formality there gives a little bit of respect. This person says, it's bullying, cruel, mob mentality, and there are double standards at play. The kind of toxic behavior is what got Thomas and Sarah Trott kicked out of their seasons in the worst possible way. All right, so we're comparing it to so many different... I feel like there's a wildfire and I'm trying to put it out with a squirt gun. I'm like, please stop. This is ridiculous. And everyone's like, oh, it's bullying. And I'm like, please turn it down. Now look, Chris Conran got the short end of the stick. Alana really got the short end of the stick. Ask Chris on the zip line. I don't know what that means. But, you know, I think they should have hung out there, and I think they should have tried to communicate more, and maybe they did. Maybe we didn't see that. Let's just read a couple of your comments, and then we will get out of here. This might be it for me today. It pisses me off because I almost feel like they choose to bully Chris and Alana because they were easy targets. Yeah, someone said they might have been easy targets. Chris was totally in the wrong the way he dumped Jasenia, but I didn't get the impression that he and Alana masterminded their BIP takeover the way Brendan and Piper did. What bothered me about the whole situation is that everyone was saying things that could easily apply to Piper. So it's definitely a case of favoritism, bullying, cliqueness. At the end of the day, Chris didn't deserve the magnitude of heat he received. I don't know, folks. Let me know what you guys think. Also, lastly, if you guys want to go support my fiance's vlog channel, she has a new vlog out called My Favorite Belize Resorts. We stayed at several amazing resorts in Belize. I think I took the shot either with the drone or with our new 4K camera. But either way, we have amazing photography, great slow-mo shots. We went to Mayan ruins and canoed and ziplined. We had a ton of fun. So please go give her the support. Tasha Courtney on YouTube. Tasha Courtney on YouTube, and you can go check that out. I'll put a link below. And everyone else, thank you guys so much. Thanks for all the support you guys have given me, and for all the people throwing Venmos and other donations my way. I appreciate you guys so much. Friday and Sunday, Brooklyn, and then also Sunday afternoon, New York City stand-up shows. Would love to see you out there. DM me on Instagram at DNeals for details to that, and we will talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.